Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games and day 19 of the 30-day challenge. And today's been really good. I managed to get the Stormfang Gunship painted and ready to go. And I can also use it as the Stormwolf as I magnetised it previously. And so all those parts are painted up as well. And I also got some work done on the Dreadnoughts and the Chariot for Logan Grimnar. But then I ran out of Rust Grey. So got to get another pot of that tomorrow. That's the first pot I've got all the way through actually throughout the challenge, so it's not been too bad on paint, but at the end I'll show you exactly how much of everything I use so you get an idea of how much you'll need to buy when you put together an army of this size. So in this video though, it's all about the Stormfang Gunship and the Stormwolf, so I'll show you the process of painting it, go through all the different components and how it's magnetised, and then show you what's left to paint over the next few days to come. Here we are back at the table, and now it's starting to look even bigger now. We've got another vehicle done, which is great, and the back tray's looking a little bit sparse now as all the painted models are moving forward to the front tray. And here you can see now we've got the Stormwolf all built, painted and ready to go. And this can be the Stormwolf or the Stormfang. So I've got two options. So I'll just run through how those options will work, and I'll show you how I got it painted as well. I also managed to get some of the shading done with the Agrax Earth shade and some paint on one of the Dreadnoughts and the Chariot as well, but then I ran out of Rust Grey, so I've got to get another pot tomorrow. But back to this beast, so here's the Stormfang Gunship, and this is one configuration you can do with the model, and so yeah, really happy how it turned out. I've pretty much followed the same method as the tank and the rhinos, and just tried to keep it as simple as possible, just with blocking in those colours, doing the details, and then some dry brushing. Happy with how this turned out, the cannon, so that worked out really well. Again, nice and simple, just dry brushing and then filling in the different colours. There's a little bit of space here. I think I need something to go on there, maybe some of the little pieces that came with it, so I might dress that up at a later date. But for now, I'm happy with how it looks. The front doors that could come down if you want them to, they come on and off when you build the different ones. I'm happy with those two, nice details, and I think that's come through. And I kept the wolf black on the front, and I've just got to add the transfer on that little yellow piece that you can see there. Now let's have a look at the Stormwolf configuration, and so just take those bits off, they're all magnetised, and I'll show you how that works in a second, and then built it like this. So I've got the two options, which is going to be great fun, and this one's armed with the twin Hellfrost cannons, so these are going to be doing some damage, and I like the look of that on the back of the vehicle a lot better, so yeah, I prefer that look. And then the front, it's got a different door, and then this covers up where you would see that cannon from the previous configuration. So yeah, really happy with this one. I'm not sure which one I prefer actually. I think I might like this one a little bit better, the Stormwolf. The front looks really good, and yeah, I like the cannons on the back. But yeah, great model. I'm so happy to have this and have it painted and part of the army. It's been great to use it and learn the rules for it too. Can't wait for that. And look at it with the tanks and the rhinos. It's just going to look awesome on the battlefield. They look really good together. So yeah, really happy with this, and it all fits in with the same colour scheme. So I think it works nicely. So here's all the separate pieces that you need to put on it for the Stormfang Gunship, and you can see it's got all different magnets and different ways of piecing it together. So on this canopy for the back of the model, I've just glued some sprue pieces in, and that just slots in like a little peg and holds it in place. So that was nice and simple. It doesn't look pretty underneath, but it certainly works. Here's one of the doors. This is for the Stormfang again, and you can see I've just glued a bit of sprue and then glued the magnet onto that piece of sprue, and that's really nice and secure. And then that goes onto the little magnet that's held in a little plastic box at the bottom of the opening. And then there's also a magnet at the top where this piece goes, which is the Hellfrost Destructor Cannon. This is the first part of that weapon. And for these pieces, I just glued a really tiny magnet on there, and this is strong enough to hold it in place. And that just goes above the Hellfrost Destructor on some little magnets that are glued onto that. And so that worked really nicely. Also got all the different weapons. You can have the different choices, the missiles, and they can go in the slots here. And then you've also got the side cannons and all sorts of things, the las cannons, and they can go in this side bit, so you can mix it up and have different options. So I think this is going to be great fun when I'm trying out different armies and trying out the different weapons on this. I'll be doing a proper video on how I got it painted, but I'll just run through really quickly exactly what I did. And I just used a coat of Agrax Earthshade all over it, nice even coat, not too heavy, quite a light coat really, and this is just going to give a little bit of grime and a little bit of shade in those recesses. And then once that was done, just let it dry. So it went all over the model. Every single piece pretty much got some of this Agrax earth shade. And then I started doing some layers with the rust grey. So just did this overbrush method, trying to keep my strokes in one direction. So on the sides I went from top to bottom, just going down, and then on the top I went like from the front to the back. And so I did this once, let it dry, then went over it again, let that dry, and then for a third time I just did the more raised, brighter panels. And so nice and easy. And again on this bit from the top down, you can see I'm just trying to go in one direction, and that's gonna, for this I tried to go in the direction that it would actually be moving. So that was the plan. And then there's lots of fine details to do on this, but I just used a relatively flat brush and then just use the side of the brush to pick those out. So this is easier than it looks. I was a bit worried about doing this bit, but it was pretty straightforward. Same here on these, just use the side of the brush, run it along, and it didn't take long at all. So although it looked really detailed, just using the side of the brush like that worked a treat. Then it was just a case of blocking in all those colours, so lead belcher on all the metal parts, and then also all the different colours that you can see on the model. So just went through it, doing those bits, doing these thrusters underneath. There's quite a lot under there. From the top, it looks like a brick, but it's got loads of thrusters, so you can certainly imagine how it flies. And then at the end, once all that dried, I just went over it with a dry brush, giving that frosty snow effect. And again, trying to give the idea of the frost hitting it as it's flying through the air. So trying to go from one direction. And yeah, really happy with how it turned out. Nice, simple, quick and easy, tabletop ready techniques, but I think it's a nice result for the time and effort put into it. Tomorrow I'm going to work on the chariot for Logan Grimnar, and then see how many of these dreadnoughts I can get painted as well. Hopefully I can get Murderfang done, but I haven't got as much time to spend on this tomorrow. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I've got to get another pot of paint as well. So they've got to be done. Then it's the 10 Terminators, so not too much left to paint now. And after I've done all that, I've just got the 6 main characters that you can see there. And then I've also got Logan Grimnar and Canis Wolfborn to do, but I've painted the wolf pretty much already, just got to do the mouth and a few details. So yeah, I reckon 3 or 4 days, painting's going to be finished, then it's time for the terrain. So that's the end of day 19, and I can't believe I've been doing this for 19 days already. It's crazy. And with 11 to go, I reckon I've got 3 or 4 days of painting, and then I can focus on the terrain. But I've also got to do those rune stones, which are going to be the different command point tokens that I'll be using. And I've also got to do the transfers, which is probably the least favourite thing I'm looking forward to doing. So that's going to be new to me as well. But thanks for your tips in some previous videos about how to put those transfers on. I'll certainly be taking some of that advice. And thanks also for watching and following along with the series. And look forward to seeing you here again tomorrow, where hopefully we'll see Logan Grimnar's chariot all finished, glued to the base and attached to those wolves. So thanks for watching. Please like if you like it. Subscribe for more videos like this. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible. And if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there. And I'll put a link for that in the description down below.